Welcome, welcome, and thank you for joining us for our celebration of Mental Health Awareness Week. My name is Stacy Tyler, and I am a Health and Wellness Coordinator with the Department of Parks and Recreation. I do have a few housekeeping items that I would like to review with you. The mute button. Before we begin, let's go over just where these are all located. You should see a microphone icon at the bottom of your screen, like the one you see here on our screen. You will need to click this icon to mute yourself. We would ask that you remain muted to limit any distractions during this program. Our camera. Next, I want to draw your attention to the camera icon. You will use this to turn your camera off and on. Please be mindful that when your camera is on, all participants joining us this evening will be able to see your screen. You have the option to keep your camera on or off, but remember, we want to minimize distractions throughout the program and keep the focus on the presentation being provided. To pin a speaker, I'd like to show you how you can pin a participant. To do this, you will need to click on the Show Participants icon. In the Participants column, select the individual you want to view on your screen and then click or tap the three dots icon to reveal a menu. From the drop-down menu, select Pin for Me. The pinned participant becomes the focus in your view and in your view only, regardless of the speaker. To unpin, repeat these 3 steps and select Unpin. Repeat the same process to pin an additional participant. Please note, if you are in a web browser, the PowerPoint presentation
County Detention Center.
The PowerPoint presentation will be in a smaller window at the top or bottom of your screen. Next, I would like to draw your attention to our new Microsoft Teams feature. You can now turn on captions. You can turn the live closed captions during this meeting off or on. To do this, you can click on the 3 dots for more options. Then you can scroll down to find the option that says Turn on Live Captions. Then you will start to see the captions at the bottom of your screen. You may choose to turn this feature on if needed. The chat icon. The last icon I want to tell you about is the chat icon. This will allow you to ask questions throughout the program. To type a question, you will just need to click on the icon, like the one you see on your screen, to bring up the chat box, and it should take you to what you will see next. There we go. In the chat box, once you see the chat box on the screen here, there will be a space for you to type in your question. Hit enter, and we will see your question on the screen. Please ask your questions throughout the program, and there will also be time at the end to ask and answer any questions. So we're looking forward to a great discussion. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our trained professional for the evening. Melanie Burdick is a registered dietitian, licensed dietitian nutritionist, a certified diabetes care and education specialist, a certified specialist in obesity and weight management, and a certified personal trainer. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Dietetics from Eastern Michigan University and a Master of Science in Applied Nutrition from the University of New England. She believes in practical steps to improving health and wellness, where no foods are off limits. Welcome, Melanie.
Thank you so much, Stacy. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I am going to go ahead and share my presentation with you all. So I'm so happy to be part of your evening. I hope everyone is having a great week. And I just wanted to do a quick check-in. How is everybody's mood? Let me know in the chat. How are you feeling? I know we've had a lot of rain. It's been a little cloudy. It's been a little chilly. Oh, absolutely. I got out my winter gloves. Wet. It's been a little soggy, a little bit low. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Jennifer. Okay. So Katrina, you're having a good week. Yeah, we're all kind of coming from a different place, a little tired. You know, when the sun isn't out, you know, it does impact us a little bit. Need more soup? Absolutely. This is soup. This is soup weather. So Stephanie, you're feeling great. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate everyone sharing how they're feeling. So it looks like Michael had a great day. Really appreciate that. I think it's always good just to kind of acknowledge where everyone is at. Not every day is, rainbows and unicorns and butterflies, but sometimes it's just nice to say how you're feeling and kind of get that off your chest. So thank you everyone for sharing and spending part of your evening with me. And again, I am Melanie Burdick. I'm a member of the Healthy Living team at Giant Food, and I'm a registered dietitian, and I'm based actually right in the Baltimore area. So it's been raining here all day. So hopefully it has stopped raining where you are. And it sounds like Darlene is doing great. Well, I appreciate everyone just tuning in. So today we are going to talk about mood boosting foods. Some people may not realize that there are certain foods that can really boost your feel-good hormones. So hopefully after today's presentation, you'll have a couple of great ideas of foods to put into your cart, but you also might say, well, hey, you know what? I am already buying these items already. And that's one of the great things when we think about healthy lifestyle and diet. Many of the foods that we might eat for managing blood pressure, diabetes, and heart health actually can help with our mood. So I hope you have something to take away after today's presentation. So on the menu for this evening, we'll talk about that mood and nutrition connection and some great items that you can put into your cart. All right. So mood influencers. So all of us, we finished up the day. There are a lot of things that can impact how we feel. The sunshine, the weather, multiple emails or phone calls, you name it. Those are all mood influencers. Some things are good for our mood and other things are bad for our mood. So let's take a look at some factors that we can control and things that we can't control. So first, things that we can't control. I wish we could. Seasonal changes, weather. Now as we have these shorter days of the year, some people start to notice, just feeling a little blue, that seasonal affectiveness disorder where it's just a little dark and just, it's not summertime, right? Other things that are out of our control, flu season, cold, of course, COVID-19, which we've been hearing a lot about over the last few years. Those are things that are out of our control. But there are a lot of things that we can control. Maybe it might be easier said than done, but we can control our stress. We might have different ways of doing that. Oh, and I'm just getting a little, okay, let's make sure everyone is muted. Let's see here. I would just, all right. So there are things that we can control. Of course, stress, we might have a different way of dealing with it, but we can, take a break, take a nap, do yoga, do stretching, get some fresh air. And that is a method to help control stress. And above and beyond what we eat, eating foods that may not be the best for us can impact our moods. And so you may have heard of stress hormones. There are a number of them. We have cortisol, norepinephrine, and these increase during times of stress. Now, also, when we think about stress, oftentimes we might turn to food as kind of that emotional release, whether it's chocolate or ice cream or candy. This is something that we might turn to if we're having a rough day. And oftentimes we start to have that connection. Say, oh, I'm having a bad day, but gosh, that piece of chocolate tastes so good. I'm going to feel so much better after I have that. But usually it's short term. Now, other things that can impact our eating habits and, stress might be our appetite hormones. So if we're getting a lack of sleep, that can drive us to want to eat a little bit more. And if we're stressed, that's really going to drive us to have maybe those yummy, maybe higher fat, higher sugar items as well. And so what we can do to help, kind of minimize those comfort foods is really just try to fill our diet with balance as much as possible, but also leaving room for some of those wonderful sweets and treats. All right. So let's talk about some of the nutrients that can really make a difference with our mood. So I'm sure all of you have seen on the right side of the screen My Plate. This is a figure that we show frequently in a variety of our presentations. But a balanced plate that follows the My Plate guidelines can actually counterbalance the impact of stress, and it really can help with your immune system and give you those nutrients that can help stabilize your mood and also help with other management, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or high glucose levels. And also when we're using My Plate, we are getting a variety of wonderful nutrients within balance. Now, I just want to take a second. We see this figure here. We have half plate fruits and vegetables, a quarter grain, and a quarter lean protein. And that also might include some dairy. Now, how would everyone rate themselves? And feel free to share in the chat for your average, say, lunch or dinner meal. How closely do those meals resemble My Plate? Let me know. And of course, there's no judgment. Just how would you rate your meals at home? Are you getting all of these different food groups at your meals or throughout the day? I know. Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for sharing. Okay, no problem at all. All right, Lois. All right, perfect. All right, doing good. Anyone else? Yes, throughout the day. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing. And so really when we think about having 79% of the time, thank you, Darlene. I like that answer, 75%. That's great. We're human. It's really just being aware. And really when we think about the plate, we've got half plate fruits and vegetables, which I'm sure many of you have heard, more veggies, the better, but they also provide us with wonderful nutrients, vitamin C, magnesium, and folate. When we think about our grains, of course, those are going to be complex carbohydrates. And then our protein sources are going to be wonderful additions for tryptophan in our diet. And these all play a role with our mood. And we're going to go into each of these different categories in the next few slides. Now, I did want to highlight just one easy tool that you can utilize, and you'll notice, you'll see that the icons and the logos on multiple slides as we go through the presentation. Guiding Stars is our nutritional rating program at Giant. And so if anyone has seen this in the aisles, let me know in the chat. If you haven't, that's okay. Something that you can look for the next time you're in the aisles. In Guiding Stars, what it does, it rates products based on their nutrient density. So more vitamins, more minerals, fiber, protein, omega-3 fatty acids, the more stars or credits that products receive. So 1, 2, or 3 stars. So as you're shopping, and as you'll notice today, many of the products that I'll highlight in each of those different food groups have Guiding Star ratings. That way you know that you're getting something that's nutritionally dense. So as you're shopping, take a look at those shelf tags right below the price on the shelf. You're going to see that 1, 2, or 3 star logo. And that way they can give you peace of mind and hopefully boost your mood that you're finding things that are more nutritious for you. And one little side note, we've been talking a lot about budget. Food prices have changed in the last few months. Well, if you have a Giant bonus card, you can opt into our flexible rewards program that's part of your Giant bonus card program. And if you buy items that have Guiding Stars, you actually get more points back, which means money off at the gas pump or register. So another great incentive to find things that are nutrient dense, but also make a huge difference in your health. So let's talk about half of our plate, fruits and vegetables. So the Healthy Living team at Giant, we're always encouraging customers to fill up your plate, eat a variety of different produce items, a rainbow, so to speak. And actually, as I'm looking at this colorful slide, it's actually really refreshing because it's been a little dreary over the last few days. So it is nice just to see that beautiful rainbow. And we know that fruits and vegetables, they are packed with vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, and these are all disease fighters for our body. And so what we know is that there are many of these nutrients in all of our different produce items. And so the nutrients like vitamin C and folate, these have actually been connected with mood as well. So it's a win-win. If you fill up your plate, whether it's fresh, frozen, or canned items, it's all going to count towards your health, disease prevention, and having a bit more color on your plate not only just makes you feel better, but it's also giving you those feel better nutrients. So a few nutrients that you will get, for example, folate, which is really important when we think during pregnancy. It helps support new cells and the formation of DNA. And actually what folate does, it helps contribute to serotonin regulation. And serotonin is one of those feel-good hormones. So the more we have of it, the more relaxed we are. Other feel-good hormones, of course, we have oxytocin and endorphins. These are all items, all neurotransmitters that are impacted by the foods that we choose. So wonderful. Now, other things that we can utilize. Let's see here. I'm going to pause one moment. It looks like the screen just changed. So I just want to make sure that my view is okay. Let's see here. There we go. All right. Perfect. So other things that can help us, magnesium. So this is also another great precursor to neurotransmitters, and actually having more magnesium in our diet really can help with our level of depression. And so there was actually an interesting study a few years ago that looked at individuals that were managing depression, and they actually took magnesium chloride daily as part of this study. And they actually reported almost 90% of the study subjects actually had lower levels of depression and anxiety. So again, whether we're getting great food sources like legumes or tofu, one of my favorite items, or whole grains or green leafy vegetables, these are all great options for our health and also our mind. Now, other things that we're going to get in our fruits and vegetables, of course, vitamin B6, which also can help those boost those neurotransmitters like norepinephrine and melatonin. And actually having a vitamin B6 deficiency actually can lead to depression. So again, the more we can get of these wonderful nutrients, the more we're going to feel better overall. So if you love, and I love this time of year, we're getting into the root vegetable season, cooked vegetables. So if you love sweet potatoes or spinach or carrots, these are great options to get all of those wonderful nutrients in. And I've been on a soup kick, so even adding lentils to your day can make a big difference. And then, of course, another great nutrient that I mentioned earlier, vitamin C. Of course, this is important for our blood vessels and our cartilage, but this also can help increase those neurotransmitters or those happy hormones as well. So if you're enjoying some wonderful citrus fruit or berries or potatoes, spinach or broccoli, these are all great options. So lots of wonderful things that you get out of that half plate produce. And so here are just a few of many of the produce options that are available. And again, fresh, frozen, or canned, whatever works for you. So whether it's a bagged salad, of course, you're getting those dark green leafy vegetables, or a wonderful frozen berry medley. This is great on a nice bowl of oatmeal in the mornings to start off a cool day. Or other things like frozen vegetables. Here we have the rice, cauliflower, and broccoli. Or we're getting into that roasting season. You have the prepped Brussels sprouts that are ready to go. Just slice and roast. It's fantastic. And then other things, if you're looking for something a little bit more on the warm side, the Nourish bowls that have kale and sweet potatoes, these are a great addition to your plate and also boost those wonderful nutrients. All right, so as we move around the plate, protein. Now, I'm sure a lot of us have heard it's really important to have lean protein in our diet. Of course, lean means that it has a lower amount of saturated fat. And so this is going to be beneficial for your heart health, but also our lean protein sources are a source of tryptophan. And actually, this is an essential amino acid, meaning your body can't make it. We actually have to obtain tryptophan from our dietary sources. And so tryptophan is a precursor to serotonin, which is a very important neurotransmitter that really helps with sleep, your appetite, and kind of that impulse control, helping to kind of maybe decrease those cravings or manage stress. And so when we have increased levels of serotonin, that can actually help with our mood. So we hear a lot about tryptophan at Thanksgiving. We get a little bit sleepy, but generally it's that we're eating so many calories after that big Thanksgiving meal that we feel a little groggy. Now, if you're not a meat eater, there are actually wonderful sources of tryptophan that aren't meat-based. So other things like nuts, eggs, and even soybeans or tofu and spinach, these are all great options as well. So when we think about something as simple as adding spinach to our day, well, gosh, that's giving us a great source of tryptophan. That's also giving us a wonderful source of vitamin K and antioxidants. And so each of these different nutrients or different foods really gives back to our body. And just a few of our favorite protein options. There's a lot of things available. Of course, we have the frozen edamame or our tuna fish or salmon. And you can also see that many of these products have those guiding star ratings. Hard-boiled eggs or even some of our dairy products are a great source of that tryptophan and protein. And also the Crunchsters, this is a newer product. It's actually made from sprouted mung beans, and it's a great addition to different salads, or if you're looking for something crunchy on top of your cottage cheese for a savory snack. But these are great items that you can add to your day. All right, so let's move to that next section of the plate. And I'm sure many of us have heard the benefits of whole grains, and these can actually help with our mood as well. So complex carbohydrates, they give us tryptophan, vitamin B6, and niacin, which help convert to tryptophan, which again is going to be the subset for serotonin. Remember that happy feel-good hormone as well. So if you're starting your day with maybe some whole wheat toast or oatmeal, those are wonderful whole grain options, and that's going to help give you that feel good feeling, but also can help with your digestion and your appetite as well too. So a win-win. Plus we know with whole grains, we're getting that complete grain. So we're getting the starch, the protein, and the fiber. And so that is a wonderful combination. So just another reason to have at least half of your grains whole, if not all of them, throughout the day. And there are wonderful options available if you're a cracker fan or a cereal fan, or oatmeal, or even popcorn. These are all great whole grain options. And you can see here we have the Whole Grain Council stamp. This will appear on a variety of different products, either on the front, side, or the back of the package. And the Whole Grains Council is a great resource. It's wholegraincouncil.org. You're going to see this logo. This one says 100%. So that means all of the grains in that product are whole. Nothing was taken away. Nothing was refined. You'll see other logos that say 50%, or it may not have a percentage available, which indicates that less of the grains in that product are whole. So if you see that Whole Grain Council stamp, that is a good step to finding an item that can really help boost your mood. All right, and some great options. So there are lots of great picks in this store. Again, these are just a few of many that the Healthy Living team loves. One of my favorites, and let me know if you've tried Kodiak cakes in the chat. So Kodiak cakes are a great brand. They've been out for a few years, but they are actually higher in fiber and protein and have whole grains. So if you love to make waffles or pancakes or muffins, especially in the cooler weather, this is a great option because you're going to get that boost of nutrients. Other great options, Dave's Killer Bread that has heart healthy nuts and seeds along with those whole grains. That's a great way to get a combination of nutrients that taste really good and it'll keep you satisfied. Now, other great options too. Mary's Gone Crackers, another wonderful whole grain cracker option if you're a big fan of cheese and crackers, or something as simple as brown rice. These are all great options that are going to give you those wonderful nutrients and contribute to those whole grains. All right, so let's talk about heart healthy fats. Now, there isn't a huge section on my plate for heart healthy fats, but we know these are important as part of our diet. A little can go a long way. And heart healthy fats can actually help with inflammation in the body and help reduce it. And so omega-3 fatty acids, they have a huge impact on our brain. And, studies have found that omega-3s can help with depression symptoms as well. So if you are eating fish, the American Heart Association encourages us to have 2 servings per week. Having those servings along with other sources like walnuts, avocados, other nuts and seeds, that's going to help contribute to those heart healthy fats, but then also help with your mood overall too. Again, it's amazing how many of these items overlap. And these omega-3s, they are essential. And so our body doesn't make them, so we need to get them from our diet. So lots of wonderful things that you can choose. Now, if you're not a fan of fish per se, there's a lot of plant-based options that are wonderful sources of omega-3s. So if you love walnuts or flax seeds or chia seeds, these are great options for alternatives. So I'll tell you, a bowl of oatmeal in the morning with some fruit and maybe a little bit of flaxseed or chia seeds is such a nutrient-dense meal. It's tasty, and it's going to make such a difference for how you feel. All right, and then here are just, again, a few of our favorite healthy living picks. Again, who can say no to guacamole or avocados? These are a great source of those heart healthy monounsaturated fats. Flaxseed, if anyone's used flaxseed, let me know in the chat. This is great, a wonderful way to add in those heart healthy fats, but also I love to put my ground flaxseed into things like muffins or bread or pancakes. All right, Lisa's using the flaxseed. Perfect. You can sprinkle it on yogurt or cereal, and it's just a great addition to have as part of your diet, and it's just giving you that extra boost of heart healthy fats that can help with inflammation. Of course, many of us are very familiar with olive oil. So if you're cooking or doing any roasting, especially roasted vegetables this time of year, it's a great way to get those heart healthy fats. And of course, walnuts. As we're getting into the colder season, we might be making something like warm side dishes, topped with some walnuts. Lots of great ways to add those in. And I did see some chatter in the chat, so it sounds like, oh yeah, perfect. So smoothies and oatmeal. Lois, you use flaxseed on your salads. Perfect. Absolutely. So there's lots of ways, and it's just a bonus. I always think of what can we add to our meals rather than take away. So any way you can sprinkle a little bit more, maybe it's a little bit of nuts, a little bit of seeds, that's actually going to make such a great difference in your health. All right. And of course, we know we have to talk about some treats, right? Do we have any chocolate fans? I'm sure we do. I'm a fan of chocolate as well. And so there's Jennifer, yeah, you summed it up. Yes. So dark chocolate, not only can it satisfy your taste buds, but also can help reduce stress and help with your mood and boost your memory, lower inflammation, and your immune health. And of course, we know that chronic inflammation, that can impact our brain health and be linked to depression. So a little square of chocolate is just fine. Remember, darker the chocolate is, the higher the antioxidant value. So a little square is a great option. And actually, having a little bit of chocolate can be very helpful for people that have high levels of anxiety. Plus, chocolate also gives us a source of magnesium as well. And another great thing about chocolate, there's a lot of great things, but one more that we found is that when individuals in studies have a piece of dark chocolate, that can cause the brain to release those endorphins, those feel-good hormones. So the more of those that we can get, the better. And so if you're in that chocolate aisle, look for at least 70% cacao or higher to make sure that you're getting all of those wonderful nutrients, and it tastes pretty good as well. All right. So that wraps up our presentation on mood boosting foods, and I have a few resources that I do want to share with you. Now, this is a snapshot of all of our services that are available on our website at giantfood.com/healthyliving. And if you take out your smartphone and your camera setting, you can actually scan these QR codes and it'll take you directly to the website. And I do want to start out with our podcast, so our Healthy Living by Giant podcast. We actually have a whole episode on mood and really getting through those winter blues. So this is a wonderful episode. And so I highly recommend that if you're looking for other information or other resources related to how you can boost your mood as we get into these darker months. Now, other things that we have available, of course, online, we have individual consultations that are free of charge. We can do those over the phone or virtually. We also have regular classes that are ongoing. October is Health Literacy Month, so that's one of our featured webinars this month, just to become more familiar with medical lingo and how to navigate the health system and better understand some of the issues or conditions that yourself or maybe other family members may be experiencing. And then if you're on social media, we can join our Healthy Living by Giant Facebook group. This is a great option to learn all things health and wellness. And if you're on TikTok, we recently actually have a new TikTok, so you can follow us, Healthy Living by Giant, if you're on that platform as well. So something that we're very, very excited about. And so I'm going to pause there and see if anyone has any questions. Of course, you can always reach out to us at any time at healthyliving@giantfood.com. Always happy to help. Oh, that's a great question, Katrina. Actually, yeah. So what are the foods that can affect our mood negatively? Well, actually, when we think about processed packaged foods, items that might be higher in fat or sodium or sugar, they often can, taste good in the moment. Maybe we like to enjoy them, while we're stressed out. But then there might be feelings afterwards of maybe not feeling very well or feeling, having some digestive discomfort. Or some people feel a little guilty and they have, they feel ashamed for eating those items. So the higher intake that we have of those higher fat, higher sugar processed items, that can really impact our mood and truly how we feel about ourselves and our health. So having a diet that's high and those items can affect, how we feel, our lab parameters, and our weight. Oh, Lois, great question. So it popped up and it disappeared. So what are other good cooking oils that are healthy? So there are lots of great options. So in the cooking aisle or the oil aisle, we have olive oil, of course, safflower, avocado oil, grapeseed oil. These are all different types that you can try. The fatty acid composition is going to vary just slightly with each of the different varieties. Also, the smoke point of those different oils can vary. Olive oil has a pretty low one, so it starts to steam. But you can give it a try, or you can use those oils. Maybe if you want to make a homemade salad dressing, that would be a great way to see how it tastes and add a little bit of vinegar and spices. And that would be a great way to try out some of those other cooking oils. Oh, and this was another good question. Oh, Lisa, healthy ice cream or frozen yogurt? So there's lots of good options. I'm a big ice cream fan. We do have varieties that are made with 2% milk or reduced fat milk. Breyers make some that are a little bit less calorie dense and only have a handful of ingredients. Now, one thing that's really helpful for portion control, a great brand that has been really helpful for a lot of customers that I've worked with, are the individual bars, Yasso or Enlightened. Those are two that have a lot of different flavors of the different bars, so chocolate, mint, coffee, and they're a nice size, but only about 100. And Lisa, yeah, you had the Yasso, excellent. So those are great for portion control. I've had many customers say, I love ice cream, and this really just hits the spot. So those individual bars, or even if something like a fruit bar, let's see, we've got, any type of frozen fruit bar is a great option, or even a single serving of an item. Maybe it's an individual serving of like an ice cream sundae cup, or an ice cream sandwich. It's one and done. So definitely there are better for you items in that freezer section. So when you're shopping, take a look and see which one resonates with you. You could have a great treat for less than 200 calories. So there are lots of good options. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Oh no, Lisa, you're doing great. Those Yasso bars are very, very popular. And actually, speaking of ice cream, you can make, it's called nice cream. So you can make your own ice cream at home. You can actually take frozen bananas and whip them. You can use either a mixer or a food processor or a blender, add in a little bit of milk, and you can whip the bananas that are frozen. You can even make avocado ice cream, which I highly recommend. And again, it's just using those staples in your kitchen. So if you're intrigued, there are lots of wonderful recipes online. Of course, I have to plug our Savory magazine at Giant. That's a great option to find some of those better for you ice cream recipes. Some of them actually have guiding stars. So lots of great options, even in the cold weather. All right, perfect. I appreciate all the questions. Great. Is there anything else I can answer for everyone before we close out? And I'll turn it back over to Stacy. Awesome. Well, I appreciate everyone spending part of their evening with me. Stay dry, stay warm, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. I just have 2 announcements before we leave. You can scan the QR code. So while those camera phones are out, thank you so much. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Melanie, for your wonderful presentation. Let me start with that. Back up just a moment. That was awesome. Got a lot of great information, and I'm so glad that you approved my Yasso bars.
Absolutely.
So if you guys, while you have your camera phones out, please feel free, scan the QR code on the screen to see the complete list of mental health awareness offerings that we have for the week. And then I've also placed in the chat, you can please join us for another virtual session tomorrow from 12 to 1 p.m. It's Life in Recovery After Surviving Suicide, a conversation about mental health and self-care. If you're interested in yoga, join us in person tomorrow from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. at the Bladensburg Waterfront Park as we continue to our celebration of Mental Health Awareness Week. Again, thank you for joining us and have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for Mental Health Awareness Week. For more videos and offerings throughout the week to help you take care of your mental well-being, visit the Health and Wellness webpage at wellness.pgparks.com. Until next time, be healthy, be well.